I'm Alex Hawkinson. I'm founder and CEO of a company called SmartThings. We're building an open platform for the Internet of Things. So we sort of believe that by working together as a society, we can literally sort of make the world more intelligent. So we're sort of creating a platform it's easy, so everyday consumers can sort of access the Internet of Things with sort of simple kits and widely available devices. It's intelligent in that we're sort of building a cloud platform that lets you sort of put a supercomputer and all the powers of the web into even the sort of most mundane, like little tiny objects, really actively unlocks. So imagine, our platform basically makes it possible to connect all of these arbitrary objects, and you can imagine hundreds of different sensor types. There's another one over there that has humidity level and lighting level and other things like that. And there's literally more than 1,000 device types that can connect to the platform out of the box. And so it lets you do some pretty amazing things. So with those, in our cloud, you can build what we call smart apps. So you can sort of remotely manage and control anything from anywhere. It sort of makes your smartphone into the remote control for everything. We're building an open platform for the Internet of Things. So I've got a variety of different stuff here. So our platform basically has a few different layers of the technology stack. There's this hub device, which sort of enables you it has a bunch of different standards-based radios in it. It creates a local Zigbee network, a local Z-Wave network. It has, there's Bluetooth Low Energy, and it can connect to IP devices that are on the same sort of Wi-Fi network and things like that. It has an internet connection and sort of bridges what we call things to the SmartThings cloud. So things are just any end device that uses any of those standards to communicate, where it puts its inputs and outputs in the cloud and then can be programmed in the cloud with smart apps, which are a type of application you can build there. And then it's all accessible through my mobile device. So I can scroll through my different locations here. I set up a hub. This hub is called the London websummit. And within that, we sort of drill in and we can see a feed of give you examples from the application, a feed of all of the data coming from all these different object types. And so I'll give you a few examples here. This is a motion sensor over here. You can see I sort of waved my hand, and this guy, which you can set up in sort of whatever format you want, can detect a person in a room or a living creature, things like that. We produced any of the devices we're producing, we're publishing as open hardware for the community. But we wanted to create great reference examples that just sort of work super well. So that'll basically tell you when there's a stop of motion. This is called our multi-sensor, and it's pretty cool. I had it set up for a scenario where, it gets moved, so it has an accelerometer in it, and you can tell that it moved, but it's also got a bunch of other functions. So if I flip that tile over, I can see that it actually works as an example as an open-closed sensor for knowing like whether a door or a window or something like that is opened or closed. We have what's called a presence tag, which is something that you can put on a pet collar or a kid's backpack, or put one in your car or something like that. It's a little tiny device, basically the size of a coin cell battery, has a very amplified signal and a big range. We can, of course, turn things on or off. I have sort of a cobbled together. It's going through a UK outlet. It's just a regular, looks like sort of like a Belkin Wemo or something. It's a Zigbee outlet and then a little night light tied into it on the other side. So turn something on and off from anywhere. And of course, we work with any of these open standards, so there's off-the-shelf devices available as well. So this will be a little gross, but I'll spit on this. Is a moisture sensor, and you'll see a second later. And again, this is connected all through our cloud, and you can see that moisture showed up. Or looking at another example, an off-the-shelf in this case, a Z-Wave door lock is locked right now. If I want to unlock it, I can simply kind of do this, and it takes a couple of seconds, but it makes them operate in a specific way. So the other part of the platform is it's totally open, and so it's open to makers that want to create new types of devices. So one example is we love the maker community that's building sort of products around Arduino and then sort of prototyping and then moving into a commercial stage. So we've got a developer and maker network that's about 3,000 strong right now and growing. And I'll give you some examples. So we've produced a shield which plugs into any Arduino, and it's the SmartThings shield. It just plugs in. It's got this radio communications chip. In this case, it's a highly amplified Zigbee module. It could be other standards as well. You're not sort of forced to use our hardware by any means. This is the same module that we've embedded in other key devices to get a super long range. And again, those are open hardware as well. But basically, if you plug this onto any Arduino project, think of it as it gives it web services with a full API and developer toolkit in the cloud. And so you can build arbitrary stuff and make it intersect with the other objects in your physical graph. So as an example here, this is sort of at Hack Days that we've started to host. This is a Hello World project. It's called the Button Shield. It's literally just the shield with a little tiny extra LED on it and a button wired up on this breadboard. And so from that, I can see inside of this, in our toolkit, a maker can define a tile device. They don't have to put it in our app, but if they choose to, they can sort of make it function in different ways. So I hit the on button just like I hit it on the lamp, and the shield turns on in that way. If I drill into that thing, I can sort of actually see that pushing the button on it generates an event in the cloud that's arbitrary. And so using this as an example, I can go in and maybe we'll have better luck this time, but wrote a very simple app that's called the Shield Button Light. This lets you take this shield and turn on any arbitrary object in the physical graph that you have access to. And so when I do this, now when I hit the button on the shield, it's going to turn on the nightlight over there. Again, we'll sort of test the demo gods in real time in the conference center with a huge 1,000 people running on the Wi-Fi network. But there it is. So you can imagine it's pretty amazing because you can take any Arduino project and imagine you could feed it data also from the cloud too. So when your door unlocks, I want my robot to kick in and like fly the drone over, to the front door. Literally, there's people building stuff like that now. Or I want on a schedule when I arrive home, I want the the pet feeder to go off that I've hacked and so on. So we sort of literally see thousands of projects. And what's cool is sort of people can make custom things. They get a full IDE and web service in the cloud. They can make it respond to weather, make it respond to other events in the physical graph. They can open it up to developers that don't make devices and can sort of build arbitrary apps that intersect with their device. So anybody could now write a web-based application that interacts with this button shield. So the power is the open platform, and we're just super excited about embracing the whole community and working together to sort of create an open Internet of Things.